Hey, Donald, this is exactly what happens when you go full on Putin. This is what happens when you send armed forces into the streets to target people who cherish democracy and are simply trying to survive. That's what we're seeing in Belgrade, Serbia, where citizens are battling against a Putin-backed, authoritarian leader, Aleksandar Vučić. These people are literally fighting for their lives. The bravery we see in those resisting forces in Belgrade is the same courage we witness in President Zelensky of Ukraine and in pro-democracy movements across the world pushing back against Trump-style authoritarianism. Yesterday, President Zelensky met with European allies, and together they made it clear, under no circumstances will they accept Donald Trump handing over Ukrainian territory to Vladimir Putin. They will not tolerate a Gaza or West Bank-style occupation, something Trump and Putin have allegedly discussed, according to The Telegraph. That same report says Trump wants to gift Ukraine's rare earth minerals, and even natural resources from Alaska, to Putin as part of a deal to open economic ties with Russia. Why? Because Trump believes it will make him personally wealthy. And what was Donald Trump doing yesterday, while people across the globe were fighting for their very existence against regimes modeled after his own brand of fascism? Well, here's how one observer described it. For those keeping track, Trump put himself in charge of the Kennedy Center, then invited himself to host the awards, then told himself he was president and do have time, but humbly accepted the offer from himself, before praising himself for honoring himself like no one else would. And no, I'm not actually exaggerating. This really happened. Yesterday, Donald Trump's press conference was one of the strangest I've ever seen. It took place at the Kennedy Center. He was announcing the awards ceremony he plans to host in December. On stage, two women in long evening gowns were unveiling large photos, like one of Sylvester Stallone, while Trump was talking about sending military forces into Washington, D.C. Then he said he would send them, just as he claimed to have done in Los Angeles, into Chicago, into Baltimore, into Oakland, and into other cities with black mayors. And all the while, Donald Trump was talking about how he wants to grow the best grass in Washington, D.C., and all over the world. He is apparently very focused on grass. This is, in his words, a top priority, along with massive 90,000 square foot ballrooms and carefully manicured lawns.
We officially announced the incredibly talented artists who will be celebrated later this year at the 2025 Kennedy Center Honors. It's going to be a big evening. I've been asked to host. I said, I'm the President of the United States. Are you fools asking me to do that? Sir, you'll get much higher ratings. I said, I don't care. I'm President of the United States. I won't do it. They said, please. And then Susie Wells said to me, sir, I'd like you to host. I said, okay, Susie, I'll do it. That's the power she's got. But so I have agreed to host. Do you believe what I have to do? And I didn't want to do it, okay? They're going to say, he insisted. I did not insist. But I think it will be quite successful, actually.
And this was all happening during the very same press conference, where Donald Trump was also making comments about Ukraine and about Russia hacking the United States, something he seemed completely fine with. At that press conference, those same women in evening gowns were still randomly talking about Sylvester Stallone and, yes, grass. Then Trump casually remarked that, well, it's normal. Russia hacks the United States all the time. No big deal, right? Just, whatever.
Hi, sir. There's new reporting that the Russians have hacked into some computer systems that manage U.S. federal court documents. I wonder if you've seen this reporting and if you plan to bring it up with Putin when you see him later in the week.
I guess I could. Are you surprised? You know, are you surprised? They hack in. That's what they do. They're good at it. We're good at it. We're actually better at it. But no, I have heard about it. I've heard about it.
There is, however, some positive news coming out of Ukraine. Ukrainian forces have been fighting back with strength and bravery, pushing against a Russian advance in the eastern region. It appears Ukraine has managed to hold the line there and bring some stability to that front. Let's also shift the focus back home for a moment and talk about what's happening here. Many economists, and frankly, a lot of regular people, now have zero confidence in the data being released. Whether it's jobs reports or inflation numbers, the consumer price index right now isn't processing all the usual data. It's running on maybe 80% of the information, because Trump fired the staff who handled it, so now it's just guesses. The Trump team is essentially guessing whether inflation is rising. I don't even trust the official numbers, which already show inflation surging. I believe it's climbing even higher. You can see it for yourself, at the grocery store, grabbing a coffee, anywhere, prices are up. Here's the man Trump wants to appoint to lead the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Antoni. Someone with absolutely no background for this role. We're learning that in his office, he has a large photo of Adolf Hitler's favorite battleship. Trump's nominee says he just likes the ship. It's the Bismarck, a World War II battleship famously admired by Hitler. And yet, here it is displayed in this man's office. There he is, right there. Was he part of the January 6th insurrection crowd? That's Antoni, Trump's pick for the Bureau of Labor Statistics, spotted at the Capitol during the attack. The White House insists he was merely a bystander who wandered over after seeing news coverage, according to NBC News. What are we even doing here, folks? Seriously, what is going on? No wonder a new YouGov poll shows only 31% of Americans believe Donald Trump tells the truth.